What's up? Brittany Eisenhower here, former D1 and professional soccer player. And today I'm going to take you through the warm-up that I would do all the time during my soccer career. Because if you're not warming up properly or you're not warming up at all, you are definitely hindering your performance. So I'm going to show you my go-to warm-up. Let's do it. So I always start my warm-ups up with mobility and activation. Mobility is kind of like stretching. It just primes your body for movement, and activation gets your muscles ready to perform at their peak. So starting off with mobility, I usually like to start in a child's pose. Something like this, it just opens up your hips a little bit, stretches out your back, your lats, open up from side to side. After about a minute there, I go into cat-cow. This really opens up your spine, stretches out your core. Just a couple of rotations here. My mobility work changes day to day based on what we're gonna work on that day or what's feeling tight or sore. But this is a typical mobility routine for me. After that, I like to go into some down dogs to stretch out my calves, kind of alternating, pedaling my feet. Then to open up my hips, I bring my leg forward and do some rotations, reaching up, and then bringing that elbow between my knee. Same thing on the other side. Couple of rotations here. Really just opening up your hip and your spine. Then with that leg forward, I continue to open up my hip and then reach back, stretch my hamstring. When you're warming up, you don't want to hold the stretches too long. It's more about finding that range of motion and kind of just loosening everything up. Same thing on the other side, making sure I'm squeezing my glute and my core when I go forward, and then reaching and folding over my leg. Only going as far as your body allows you to. Bite. Next, we're gonna go into some figure fours. We're gonna alternate, again, not holding too long. So alternate each side, holding that figure four stretch. This one is my favorite. Just really stretches out my glute and opens up my hips. Now that the quick mobility is done, we're gonna go into an activation. So starting laying on our backs, we're gonna put a resistance band around our knees. Once it's there, you're going to lay back, put your feet under your hips, and from your glutes, squeeze up into a bridge position. Gonna hold it there at full extension for a minute, and then we're gonna do 10 reps. Really squeezing, leading from your glutes. What we're doing with activation is we're trying to really warm up these muscles so that when you go into training, they're ready to fire and work really hard, so you're not gonna injure yourself and you're gonna get the most out of your training. After the bridges, we're gonna do some side lying clamshells. So get into a position where your legs are at about 90 degrees, and firing from this glute, lift the knee without rotating your hip open, and really feel the activation in this glute. Do 10 reps here and 10 reps on the other side. After the clamshells, we're gonna warm up our hip flexors, which are really important if we're doing any kind of running or sprinting. And as soccer players, we know we're obviously going to do that in training. So put the band around your feet here, lay on your back, and really make sure your back is flat to the mat. You're not arching at all, so engaging your core. Bring your hips up to 90 degrees and then slowly push out one foot while resisting with the other. Hold that for a couple seconds, bring it back in, and do the same thing on the other side. The movement here should be coming from your core and your hip flexors, getting this whole area really warmed up. Not pushing with your leg, but more so pulling with this hip flexor. After about 10 of those on each side, we're ready for the dynamic warm-up. So for the rest of my warm-up, I like to break it up into 3 sections. The first one just being movement like jogging, the second one being active stretching, and the third one just getting your body ready for some explosive movement. So sprints, jumps, anything that's gonna get your mind and body ready to move at 100%. So first up, we're gonna jog just 20 yards out and 20 yards back. The movement section is just about getting your body loose and warm and ready for some stretching and sprinting. Everything in the movement section is just gonna be about 15 to 20 yards out and 20 yards back. Next up, we've got some A-skips. So really driving your knee up and pushing it back into the ground, getting springy and getting into that sprint position. Same thing on the way back. Now we've got some high shuffles, staying pretty high, arms overhead. Just getting some lateral movement in. Again, same thing on the way back. Now we've got low shuffles, so staying really low and pushing out of that back leg, moving a little bit quicker, being a little bit more explosive. I've heard this next one called a few different things, but I've always called it karaoke. So karaoke, down and back. Really driving that back knee over the front, getting your body loose, warm, and a little bit more explosive. Now for my personal favorite, open the gate. With this one, you're gonna wanna open up your knee pretty high like you're going over a hurdle, as high as you can without arching over. And then open the gate backwards on the way back. Getting the same movement, just opening up your hips. As you progress, you can add a little bit of speed and hop to it. Now for close the gate, same thing, getting your leg as high as possible without arching over or falling back. Really wanting to get that hip joint loose and mobile. Same thing on the way back here. Maybe adding just a little bit of hop and speed on the way back. Now that we're a little bit warmer, we're gonna start with our active stretching block. So we're gonna start with lunge to reach, lunging out, reaching up high. Again, squeezing that glute, activating that core. So you're not arching, but you're getting a really good stretch throughout that hip flexor and stretching right over that leg. Same thing all the way out, lunge, reach. You can reach over a little bit to get a deeper stretch and keep going. This one is definitely one of my favorites. I feel like it kind of activates this leg while getting a really good deep stretch in this side of your body. For the active stretching, we're gonna go 10 yards out and 10 yards back. Next up, we've got a quad stretch to reach. So you're gonna grab your foot and go up on your tippy toes, really getting a good stretch in that quad and doing the same thing on the other side. Grab that foot, try to balance as much as you can, reach up on your tippy toes, get a good stretch. To get a deeper stretch, you can really pull that quad and that foot closer to your glute. 10 yards out, 10 yards back with this one too. So now we're gonna do what all my coaches have always called the world's greatest stretch. I don't really know why it's called that, but it does feel pretty good. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna lunge out, bring your elbow to the inside of your foot, reach up towards the sky and stretch that hamstring. Now going same thing on the other side, lunging, elbow down, reach up, rotating through that hip, and then stretch that hamstring. Now for the final block, sprint preparation and jumps. Again, this block is all about firing up your CNS, which means just getting your body and your mind ready to perform at a high level. So we're gonna start up on our tippy toes and snap down. We're gonna do this 6 times. Each time, trying to snap down a little bit quicker, as fast as you can. After that, we're gonna do 6 squat jumps. So about the same movement, snapping down and jumping back up. Up on the tippy toes, snap down, jump as high as you can. I'm working on my vert height, so don't judge me, okay? Each time, trying to get a little bit more height in your jump. For this one, the landing mechanics are super important. Make sure you're landing with your knees bent and activating your glutes. Now that you're out of breath, probably like me, and you're fired up, it's time to do the sprints. So we're gonna do 4 sprints, and each time we're gonna increase our pace just a little bit. So first sprint, we're gonna do at about 60 to 70% of our max speed. So this one is really just about getting your body prepped for the sprints ahead. First sprint, 60 to 70%. Ready? Opening up the legs. I got a pretty quick cameraman. We'll see if you can keep up on the 100% sprints. Each sprint we're doing for 20 yards, and the next sprint is about 75%, 80% of your max speed. Here we go. A little bit quicker this time, but nothing too crazy. He's feeling himself right now behind the camera. Okay, last 2 sprints, you're really getting up there. We're gonna do 90% and then 100% of your max speed. So third sprint, here we go, about 90%, really opening up, exploding off the line, and running through. This last sprint's gonna be a competition between me and the cameraman, and he didn't even do the rest of the warm-up. Okay, last sprint. By now, we've done a whole warm-up. You should be pretty warm and ready to hit the sprint at 100% max effort. So with this one, really exploding off the line and finishing all the way through at 100%. Go! Did you win that? Or did I win that? You won that?
And you tried to false start me.
I did try to false start you, I did. All right, that's the video and that's the warm up. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about your athletic career or mine, ask them in the comments and I might answer them in a future video. I'm a little out of breath from that last sprint. Make sure to subscribe, it means so much to me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.